$196.30 is how much you're going to pay for the genuine Yamaha aluminium radiator guard. So you just get the grill basically and a couple of plastic washers and a screw. The instructions are typically vague and a bit hard to follow, but we'll see how we go. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be able to figure out how to do it, but I know a lot of you guys also like to see it done visually on a video, so I'll give it my best shot. Alright, let's do it. The only tools you should need for this job, some little pointy nose pliers come in handy, a small flat screwdriver, 5 and 4mm Allen keys, and an 8mm socket. So I've actually just finished the job. I just wanted to jump in quick before I show the process and say, guys, if you do this job, I recommend taking off your both radiator shrouds before you even start. It just makes the job so much easier. The instructions in that come with the guard say just to remove the bottom bolt and try and hold it out while you're doing it, but it's just 2 more bolts on each side, 3 on each shroud all up. To whip that off, and then you just got to unplug the indicator. You can get that whole thing, get them both right out the way, and it makes it a lot easier, trust me. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so according to the instructions, the first thing we need to do is remove these 6 plastic fasteners. They just turn about a quarter of a turn or half a turn with an 8mm socket. Pop out quite easy. Apparently there's 3 on each side. One up there. They sort of just pop out when you give them a half turn. And also it says to undo the lower bolts on the radiator shrouds. And they're both 8mm as well, obviously. Just got to get them in exactly the right spot. Okay, so next we have to undo these 2. There's a bolt on either side on the fins here. That's a 5mm Allen key bolt. I think now we need to pull this little hose clampy thing out. So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting that brake line off there. It's got one of those clips that expands at the back, so decided to just take this shroud fully off, which is just 2 more 8mm bolts, one up here and one here. So that should make it a little bit easier. And you just want to unplug that indicator wire there to get the whole shroud out of the way. Now hopefully it'll be a bit easier to get to the back of that little clip. So much easier. Cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend taking the left hand radiator shroud off. It just makes it so much easier to get to the back of that little guy. So you can just squeeze it with some pliers at the back and it'll pop straight out. And the other one here, I've already undone that. You know those little zippy clips, how they work. You just lift them up one on either side and undo it. Then I believe it's just a matter of sliding it to the side off of this pin here, and it should drop straight out. I might need to just pull that shroud out a bit while I do it. So that's the top mount there. There's a pin that sits in there, so to remove the whole thing, just slide it this way a bit. It's a bit tight, just got to pull it that way far enough, and then the whole thing just drops out. So we need to keep this rubber piece from the top mount. So try and pull that out. Okay, we also need to keep the hose clamp retainer, so that just pops out quite easily from the fins, and we can now discard that into our box of unused Tenere pieces. Okay, the next step involves getting the largest, there's only one of these large washers in the kit that comes with the radiator guard, and you want to put that onto the rubber grommet. So that's going to be fun. That wasn't too bad. Now I need to mount that onto the new radiator grille. So if we're looking at the front of the radiator grille, we need to put this into, with the grommet, into this mounting hole up here. If you can see that there. And it says you've got to go in from this side, the right hand side, so obviously you want that little plastic spacer on this side, not on that side, so don't go in from there, go in from that side. There we go. Almost. Was that painful? Yes, it was. Now you want to take one of your number 5 washers, which is one of the larger of the small washers, not the big one which we've already used, but one of the big ones there, and put it over the end of that hose clamp. It goes into this hole here at the top. So guys, I'm not sure if you'll have the same experience as what I did, but that thing wouldn't actually stay in that hole. It's like the hole's a little bit too big for it. So I actually had to bend the little tabs on the back of that pin a fair way out just to get that to stay in there, but it's actually pretty solid now, so it should be good. Now the next step is to put the guard up into position, and then we'll put the other brake line clamp into this hole. It's the same deal as with the plastic guard. This rubber grommet has to slip over that mounting pin up there above the radiator. It's quite a tight fit. So now we'll put this part of the brake line into that little zip clamp there. And we need our other medium-sized washer to go on. Goes on behind, well, goes on first, and then that should clip straight into that hole. Alright, beautiful. So the last 2 washers, which are the smallest ones, and the 2 bolts that come with it, they go into the lower part of the radiator there to hold the guard on. It says the washer goes in between the guard and the radiator. So the washer goes in there. And of course they've changed the size of the bolt head to a 4mm by the looks of it. Okay, same again on the other side. just take both fairings off from the start, guys, honestly. It's not worth the hassle trying to do it while with them still on. It's much easier to just whip them off. That's why we make these videos, so you can learn from my mistakes. So that's it, guys. All fitted up. Looking good. So it looks like you only use 2 of the little plastic clips on the front here on each side instead of the 3, because you don't have these long bits that go right up to the top. Alright guys, I'm calling that job done. Doesn't look too bad. So leftover bits, obviously the old fins to the plastic push pin thingies and to the original side mount bolts for the radio. Thanks for watching guys, I hope this helped somebody out there. Bit of a pain in the ass job, but definitely doable by a muppet like me, so you can do it too. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. They don't make this shit easy. I'm sure there's got to be an easier way to do this. If you know it, leave it in the comments and I'll pin it. So, it'll get there. There we go. Almost.